Hi there, everybody. This is Lee. And I'm talking about some women of the Trump administration. I said in a video earlier that women make up more than 50% of the voting electorate in North America. And then you look at Congress and the representation in Congress, particularly the House, is not reflective of the population of the majority of women in the United States, and certainly not the Senate. And so that leaves us with the Trump administration, how that's shaping up. Since about 48% of women put Trump into office, voting for him, you would think that maybe there would be recognition in this respect that Trump would go so far as to provide women a beacon, a role model, a shining light, a representation inside his administration. The days are still early, but here is how it's shaping up so far. CNN has an article, Three Women of Color Trump has appointed so far. First one up is Nikki Haley, and there's a short discussion of her, the South Carolina governor, Nikki Haley. She is Trump's pick for U.S. ambassador to the UN. And Tulsi Gabbard had been floated and rumor mongering in the media as possibly being in this role. But Trump went with Nikki Haley. She was actually born in the United States to Sikh immigrants from Punjab, India. And so she's a rising star. She's relatively young. She's about 44 years of age. And so she has a long future ahead of her. She did endorse Senator Marco Rubio during the primary, and then she backed Ted Cruz. And so she's not necessarily a Trumpista. She has actually criticized Trump, but Trump has reached out for her, and I think that's pretty interesting. Next up is Elaine Chao, and I like Elaine Chao. She has a long history in public administration. She was the former labor secretary for George W. Bush from 2000 to 2009. She served longer than anyone. She's also served in various positions under previous Republican presidents. She's also married to Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell since 1993. And so, while she was formerly the Secretary of Labor, she is now up for Secretary of Transportation. The reason why I like Elaine Chao is I've actually spoken to her personally. I got her on the phone for a project that I was working on. She didn't have to talk to me, but she did, and she was very helpful for me. And I respect her for that. The fact that she has that longevity, that experience of working under various administrations, shows that there is faith in her capabilities, her ability as a leader. So I think we're in good hands with Elaine Chao. Let's see. This also Seema Verma. She's president and founder of CVC Incorporated. She's the daughter of Indian immigrants, and she is Trump's pick as administrator of the Centers for the Medicare and Medicaid Services. She's the founder of a health policy consulting firm, and she's a resident of Indiana. She's got close ties to Vice President Mike Pence. And so we'll have to see how that plays out. There are other women being considered for the Trump administration. Kellyanne Conway, of course, is being considered for counselor to the president. She was Donald Trump's spokesperson, about 49, 50-ish. She's a veteran political operative. She's been in the mix in the last 3 decades, so she has a long history in the political arena. She knows it very well. And they call her the Trump whisperer. But some people call her the Trump apologist for the way that she's kind of smoothed over the most controversial of Donald Trump's statements. But I feel okay with her in the Trump administration. It seems like she knows what she's doing, and Trump did win. And she managed to work with a flawed candidate and help him get elected. More power to her. Who I'm really interested in is Linda McMahon. It's just so fascinating to me. Linda McMahon. She's being considered for the head of a small business administration. And I think it's terrific. She is highly, highly qualified. She's a co-founder and former CEO of the WWE, Worldwide Wrestling Enterprise. She's which is a $650 million publicly traded company, and her husband Vince McMahon is the other co-founder. And so they have known Trump for like over 30 years. They have a long history together, and she has that background and loyalty to Trump. She's also run for Senate twice. She was unsuccessful, but she actually spent about $100 million of her own money for the campaign, meaning she put skin in the game. She believed in herself. She put up her own money to run her campaign. And so she's pretty controversial just simply for the fact that she's so wealthy. But it looks like she worked for what she got. She definitely knows the business world, and so it makes sense that she's being considered for the head of Small Business Administration. Let's see. There's more, and I'm scrolling past all the white males in the Trump administration to Betsy DeVos being considered for a Secretary of Education. And here it gets really dicey because what I do is respect Betsy DeVos for her stance on technology, manufacturing, and clean energy. She's invested in that. She's got a company she chairs. It's called the WinQuest Group. And it invests in these areas: technology, manufacturing, and clean energy. And so for that, I like her. I am kind of concerned about her stance on education, her preference for privatization of education and private schools and charter schools, and the fact that she's being put in a position as Secretary of Education. I have concerns about that, and as well as other people as well. But overall, I am glad for the women who are being considered for the Trump administration. I do feel that since women make up more than half of the general voting electorate, that women in general should likely be heading up more positions inside the Trump administration. There may be more women who have been appointed that I haven't really researched or gotten to yet, but we need to see more. It's time. We need to see women representing women in the government, providing leadership, showing professionalism, providing examples, showing that they are capable of leadership roles as well. Definitely, we have somewhat of a start, but there needs to be more. And so I look forward to seeing what Trump intends to do in that arena. In the meantime, best wishes for the women who are being considered so far. The ones that I've named, I don't really have a problem with. Even Betsy DeVos, we can work with her, I guess. But overall, I say that it's something, and something is better than nothing. But more can be done, and I look forward to seeing that. Good luck.